Hi guys, it's Professor Fernandez, and I am here to teach you a little bit of how I organize myself when I take online classes. I know that taking an online class is gonna be difficult for some of you because you probably don't quite know how to study or don't quite know how to organize yourself. I'm going to show you what I do. So I'm taking an online class right now as we are going online. So this is interesting. If you're seeing this video after I've already done it, maybe a semester or two or three or five after I've already taken this class, um, this is just something that I do. And so I just wanted to teach you guys kind of how I organize my things and kind of how I'm doing things. So I am literally teaching, or I'm literally taking a class online on how to teach online. I do this a couple times a semester whenever something comes up. And so this is one of the things that I'm taking as I'm doing online classes for you guys during the global pandemic. So one of the things that I do is that I make sure that I am structuring my day around my class. So I know that um, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is usually when I do my work, and between 10 and noon is when I do my online class. And that's usually enough time for me to do all the work for the week. I want to know when or how a class is structured. So for this particular class that I'm taking, they do weekly modules. So every week it opens on a Monday and it closes on a Sunday. If you have me for 1302, more than likely your modules open on a Tuesday and close on a Monday. So the first thing you need to know is when things open and when things close. So for me, for this particular class, everything opens on a Monday and everything closes on a Sunday. So that I know that I have a week to do all the work that's on there. And I schedule time in my day to actually do some work. So I know that I use Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays to do all the work from 10 to about noon-ish, to do the work that's in the class. And so that's the time that I have to do things. And I may extend it to Thursday, but usually I'm usually done by Tuesday, or usually done by Wednesday. Some days I'm done by Tuesday. And so I know I'm done for the week. And so knowing that I have those 2 hours, those days is very helpful. For you guys, it may be that you just do like an hour on a Monday, an hour on a Tuesday, and then again on Thursday. Doesn't matter. It's whatever fits in your schedule. For me, it just works 2 hour blocks on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of every week. Okay. So it's Monday. I am opening up my course, which happens to be edX. You guys happen to be element. Your LMS happens to be Brightspace, but it's the same process. I am actually in week 3, so week 3 just opened, and so the first thing I want to do is a module check. Just like in class, we do module checks in class on Tuesdays when the module opens, and so I am going to open up number 3 and I'm going to see what all is in it. So I know that there's an introduction that I'm going to be listening to. It's a 2-minute video that I'm going to be listening to, and it's going to tell me what the goal is for the module. Usually I do this in the face-to-face class. I do it during our face-to-face session. Because we're going online, you'll have this in your module as well. What we're going to be covering for that module. These are the 3 things, the 3 big things that I'm going to be learning. So I know that this is what I'm doing. And then I just go through the module. I click next and I go step by step. All right. I know I'm going to be reading here. I know I'm going to be listening to this video, and there's some resources that I'm probably going to look at when I'm looking at it. There's some things I need to be reading, and I'm just going to click through. There's activities that I need to get done. Okay. So I just kind of look to see, what is it that I'm mostly doing? Am I mostly reading? Am I doing any discussion posts? Am I doing videos? So there's a couple videos I need to see, and I'm looking to see how long they are. And they're not long. I've seen, this is the longest one, which is 15 minutes, which is fine. It's in my 2-hour mark, right? And I'm doing a lot of reading here. I know by this simple, just because I've taken an edX class before, that this is going to be like a discussion post. And so I know that this is a discussion post I'm going to be working on for the week. And looks like there's only one for the week, so I'm pretty cool with it, and there's going to be lots of videos. Okay, so I know what I have in store for the week. So after I do that, I am going um to my uh folder, and so I have folders kind of done. So this is my class. It's called Pivot Online. Um, and so I create a folder for the class in my OneDrive. You can do this in Google Drive, super easy. And so I have a folder for like cool articles or interesting things that maybe the professors give that like I may not use immediately then, but that may be useful later on. So for example, let's click on that. They gave a list of resources um, in links. Um, and so I just copied and pasted them and put them there. I may not deal with it right then and there, but it may be something that I may need to use later on because I can't assume that I'm going to have access to the modules once we're done with the modules. And it may be that I may need this for another class later on. And so I like to keep that there. And then if there's like cool resources that I actually happen to see, like there's this one with when universities in South Africa shut down and it went online, and they had some really interesting things. So I do literally a little annotation of it. I don't do like the citation, I just do the link to it and a little annotation to remind myself, hey, this was a really cool article. I may want to come back to that later. Okay. And so what's also here is homework. So I have homework, and homework is discussion boards. And so what I do with discussion boards, let me let you see week 2 what that looks like. I literally copy and paste the discussion board, the direction, the whole darn thing, and then I literally answer. So this discussion board right here said you needed to pick 2 of these questions. There's 8 questions, pick 2 to write about and then post them. And so what I did is I copied and pasted the entire discussion board and then wrote my answers here and wrote them how I wanted them to look like, did all the grammar stuff, made sure everything was lined up, then copy and paste them and put them in the discussion board. Done. And so I would just put all my discussion boards literally in the same file. So it's all 1 week, right? Week 2's discussion boards are in this one file. And so I did the same thing for the next one. This is the next discussion board. And so this was my response to one of my discussion boards here. Let me highlight that. Bum, 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 bum. Boom. And so literally when I was done, I copied and pasted and put in the discussion board, moved on. And so I'm not spending all the time on the edX site or the Brightspace site for you guys. I'm literally looking at what I have to do, and I'm copying and pasting like the discussion boards or any of the activities and putting them in my OneDrive. So that way I have access to that and I can work on that on the OneDrive. And then I can go back to Brightspace or back to edX, copy and paste what I need and put it in the discussion board or upload it or whatever I need to do. So that is up with my homework there. And then this is how I take notes. So how I usually take notes is like let's look at this one. So sometimes, as you probably saw, there were lots of things to read. I just copy and paste all the stuff that I needed to read and put it in my OneDrive, put it in a Word document. And you see these little bubbles here? These are my annotations. This is how I annotate things. So I'm reading it through and I'm highlighting it and I'm putting my notes here, notes to myself, things that I want to check up on, any questions that I have, I put it here. And as I have questions, I can actually email the professor and say, hey, I had this question on this thing that you asked us to read about closed or institutionally supported technologies. And then, I can literally copy and paste a question in an email, and then I get an email back from the professor. And so that's how I organize myself for an online class. And then how I actually kind of put a to-do list together. Let me show you guys what that looks like here. I don't know if you can see it. I probably should have taken a picture. So every week, I have a list of things to do. I have a bullet journal and it looks crazy, but it's not. And so I literally list everything that I need to do, including discussion board for week 2 of my online class, or the 3 discussion boards, or the 2 discussion boards. For me, week 2 had like 3 discussion boards I had to do, but I looked at week 3, which is the week we looked at when we did a module check. There's 1 discussion board. So that means I'm doing a lot of reading and a lot of listening to videos, right? And so I make sure that I write down what I need to do, right? So I have the list of all the things that I need to do. Then I have the days of the week on top, and it's just like MTWTFSS. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so every time I do something, I mark an X right next to it under the day of the week. And so I can keep track of what I'm doing. So when I get to the end of the week, I look at what hasn't been done yet, and then I move it to the next week, which is right here. So that way I have a new list. And I do this every Sunday because I know my module opens on Monday. So this is how I'm setting myself up. I know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 10 to noon, I'm working on my online class, right? The class I'm taking, not the one I'm building, the one I'm taking. And then on Sunday, before the class opens, I look to see what I've completed to make sure I've completed everything before the module closes. And if I did, if I haven't completed something, I'll go ahead and complete it. If not, then I'm done for the week, right? And I look to see my to-do list. If I have completed things on my to-do list, I've already checked them off as I'm doing them. But if I have to move something to the next week, I go ahead and move it to the next week. So on Sunday, I'm making my to-do list for the week, right? And then Monday morning at 10 a.m., when the module opens, I'm checking the module and I'm doing a module check. Can I click through it? What does this module look like? What are some things I have to get done? How many discussion boards? How many videos? What do I need to read? What do I need to annotate? And then I copy and paste things and put it in my OneDrive, especially discussion boards, because I want to take time with discussion boards, because that's how the professors of my course are going to know if I've learned something or if I'm applying what I've learned correctly. And so keep that in mind, because that's what I'm looking for too in discussion boards, that you have read something and you're applying what you're learning correctly. And that's how I can determine whether you've learned what you needed to learn. And that's it. And that's how I kind of organize my life with taking an online class. Of course, I have a very loud parrot, as you can hear, who loves to talk when I talk. And, it is what it is. And then I know after I'm done at noon, whether I'm done with an activity or not, I shut off that class and then I move on to something else. And even within those 2-hour time periods, what I like to do is take a lot of breaks. So I know that I can work about 25 minutes and then I should probably take about a 5-minute break. In that 5-minute break, maybe I go and go to the bathroom, or go get a drink, go get some water, make some coffee, maybe reply to an email or two, stretch, go talk to a friend, whatever. And then after those 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever, come back and do another 25 minutes worth of work. And then do another 5-minute break, 5 to 7 minute break. That's called the Pomodoro technique, if you want to look it up. Just so that way you have a little bit more structure and it's not just a straight 2-hour work block, which can be very daunting and overwhelming. So you just have a 2-hour work block, and in those 2 hours, you're working 25 minutes on one thing. You're completing that one task, you're taking a break. 25 minutes on another thing, you're completing that task and taking a break. So that's how I set up myself to take an online class while I'm literally designing your online class and grading your papers and doing all the things. So I hope this was helpful on how I organize things and how you guys maybe could help organize your stuff. When I'm designing your class, it's kind of, I'm always thinking about how is the easiest way that I can evaluate if you're learning things or not. And one way is one way is, making sure that the discussion boards are worthy of you. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys later. Bye.